guys, I'm Kristen, and today we are going to be using wreath forms from the Dollar Tree. This first one, it is a 21-inch bunny wreath, $5 from the plus section. I've only picked up a couple wood items from the plus section, so here we go. I'm kind of diving in just a little bit. I thought $5 for this bunny head wreath form was a great deal. It did need a little bit of shaping, but no big deal. I ended up fixing it. I just kind of squished it around a little bit and it worked. So for the florals and greenery, most of it is from probably Walmart or Dollar General. A lot of things I have had, so I'm just kind of pulling out what I have in my stash and using that before I have to buy a ton of new items. I did buy some new, of course, but I wanted to use I used actually a huge chunk out of my floral bin. These pieces were from Michael's, the greenery. It was probably from last spring, and then now I'm just using some lavender. I love the lavender from Walmart. It's always so pretty if you can find it. I can't find a ton of good florals right now at my Walmart, so let me know in the comments below if you guys have been able to find some. So this right here, I already had a lot of it torn apart from different crafts I have made, and I just kind of wanted to use whatever I had already torn apart before I started pulling more apart. These pink flowers are from Dollar General this year, and I love Dollar General with their florals because they're between $1 and $3. The $3 ones are huge, and the dollar ones are very similar to Dollar Tree. I'm using these eggs from this wreath or this garland. I don't know why I said wreath because obviously I'm making a wreath. That egg garland is from Dollar Tree this year, and I'm just pulling apart the eggs and then just adding them to the blank spaces, and I love this. I think this is very high-end looking, especially when I'm using items from Dollar Tree and, of course, my good old craft stash. This wreath was also $5 from the Dollar Tree plus section. I really like what they did with that picture, so I wanted to show you guys, but I'm just kind of going a more simple route. So I had a ton of this eucalyptus. This is from Walmart, and it was already tore apart, so I decided to use this for this wreath form. So I wanted to make these wreaths, I want to say simple, but elegant, high-end, nothing that would make you think oh wow, did she pick all of those items up at the Dollar Tree and dig through her trash floral pile? I don't know. I was really excited when these kind of came together because I do think they look very pretty and that you could purchase them for way more than just $5 from Dollar Tree. These pretty florals are from Dollar General this year, and they're only $1. I picked up quite a bit of these. I think these are so pretty. I don't even know what they're called, but I think the little white flowers. I think they're really pretty, and I use them in quite a bit of DIYs in this video, but I'm just kind of putting them every other on each side. So I'm putting a couple in the middle area, and then I'm just going kind of back and forth. So on the outside, and this is kind of what it looks like a little bit closer up. And I know you can probably do something with that chicken wire, but it's been a minute since I have even really seen chicken wire. I used to use it in crafts all the time, and it kind of just brought back 4 years ago doing YouTube and trying to do chicken wire without cutting your fingers off. There's many craft things I enjoy doing, but trying to make a bow is honestly not one of them. I would just prefer to buy them already made and put together. I picked this one up. It is a gingham buffalo check burlap. I think it's really pretty, and I just added that right to the center. I wanted to make sure that I had more and extra or enough of this greenery before I went on to do the ears and the head, because I was like, man, am I going to have enough? I don't know. Should I do the ears? Should I do the head? And I was like, okay, it would look so weird if I didn't. So I'm just doing the same exact thing to the head and the ears as I did to the body, just adding that eucalyptus and those cute little white flowers. And I have to say, this one is pretty simple, but I think it is hands down my favorite. The good old original wreath form. This is obviously from Dollar Tree, of course, and I'm using burlap for this. This burlap actually came from Temu. I know people are like not loving Temu, but sometimes when you like look at their prices on their websites, you kind of want to buy stuff from them. Like, especially with everything going up at Dollar Tree and just everything going up in general, I really want to try to find some cheap crafting items, or I will no longer be able to craft because I won't be able to afford it. But this is like a good old school. I used to always wrap all of my wreath forms in burlap. And it's just been a really long time since I've done any sort of wreath. But yeah, I just wrap the burlap all the way around this wire form and then hot glue the end. And then I kind of just start covering up the burlap. And the whole reason why I do this is because even if there is some burlap showing, it doesn't matter because burlap is just pretty as is. So it really doesn't matter to me if a little bit shows or not. I'm not trying to fully cover it as I would if I was going to be using like a wire wreath form. I really didn't want like wire sticking out, but burlap is okay. This is just more items out of my craft stash. Bear with me, this does look better. This looked terrible when I was doing it. I started pulling things apart and like redoing it, and I was like, I don't know, this just does not look right. It kind of looks ugly. So I did have to kind of tear things apart because those like lamb's ear leaves, they just were kind of ugly, and some of them were like falling apart and like the color was coming off of them. I'm not sure, but it's probably because I've had them for so long. But I managed, I figured it out, pulled apart the leaves that just didn't look right, and then I just added just whatever was in my craft stash. It's really where 90% of this came from, except a couple of the floral items that I picked up at Dollar General recently. Yes, there is an elephant in the room. I did not talk about the hop sign. It is from Dollar Tree. I had some good plans and intentions on using it for a different craft. I think I was going to add moss to it. Moss is so messy. I have such a love-hate relationship with it, so I decided to just opt out completely of that, and I just wanted to add it to this wreath. I think it's like fun and cute and colorful. I'm also adding some of these carrots. These carrots are always at Dollar Tree, I feel like every single year, but you have to grab them early because I feel like you can find them in the beginning of the season or holidays, but like if you wait any longer, you can't find them. Maybe it's just my area. Maybe it's just me not shopping all the time, but I was glad I picked up a pack of these. All right, so I'm just adding a little bit more floral and greenery to this. These are those same white flowers. I think I picked up 3 packs of these, and I end up using every single one, but I was able to use them with all kinds of the wreaths in this video. And they're not all wreaths. You're going to see in a second, I'm making something just a little bit different, but using a wreath form. But this is just some ways that you can make wreaths on a budget. You don't have to pay a ton of money. And if you didn't want to spend $5, here you go. This probably cost me under $5 to make using items that I already had. We had to make that H and P pop just a little bit, so I wanted to add some more color to this. So I'm using that same egg garland from the first wreath, and I'm just adding some more eggs to this one. I feel like this foam wreath form you can always find at the Dollar Tree. I am doing the same thing and just wrapping burlap around this form. And this is kind of what it looks like when you get started, and that's kind of how it ends too. I am also going to be using this sign. I want to say it's a sign. Yes, from Dollar Tree as well. These are new. I only picked up one. I kind of wish I would have picked up a couple more to actually make some signs with, but I'm just gluing the wreath form right on top of that sign, and it's okay if you can kind of see those little holes. It doesn't matter. It's going to be covered eventually. These little lavender pieces, these I recently grabbed from Dollar General, and I'm going to be using the greenery on here. That's kind of what it looks like, and I'm using this boxwood greenery. I didn't have a ton of this boxwood, so I only used whatever I had left over in my craft stash. I think I've said that a million times, but it's really where the majority of it came from, except, like I said, Dollar General. Dollar General, craft stash, I'm going to say it a million times in this video because where everything came from. And then I'm just, of course, adding some of the lavender that is from Walmart and mixing it in with the lavender from Dollar General. It just has like a different texture and a different feel, and it looks different, and it's just really pretty. But this is what it looks like when it's done. Of course, I added some more of that white floral, or maybe it's like white, I don't know what it's called. If anyone knows what the white flowers that I grabbed from Dollar General is, let me know in the comments below. They do not have any sort of tag that let me know exactly what it was, but this is what the piece looks like when it is done. I actually really love this. I grabbed that chicken basket last year from the Target dollar spot, and those colored eggs are from Dollar Tree within the last couple years. I decorate with them every single year, but I am obsessed with this one. And finally, the last one, when I was almost done with this video, I realized I had this bunny ear wreath form. I must have picked it up in the beginning of the season, or the beginning, I think it was around Valentine's Day probably is when I picked it up. I decided to go ahead and use this rope. This is from Dollar Tree as well. And I just kind of tore it apart into 3 sections, and it just kind of gives you more rope, so you don't have to buy as much. I did use just over a roll of this or a pack of this, but this is what I just did, and I kept going. It started to unravel at the ears. I didn't know if I was gonna love it, but honestly, when it was done, I thought it would turn out really good, and it really just looks like I used yarn or not rope. It just didn't look like rope to me. It kind of looked more like yarn. It kind of felt more like yarn when you kind of tear it apart and it starts to unravel. But hot glue for the win always to tie this off. And then I'm just adding some florals right to the top and some greenery along the edges. And once again, this is what was in my craft stash, but I know these flowers are from Dollar Tree, so I think they're so pretty, and I think I used them last spring as well, and that's probably what I had them left over from. But you guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you didn't get too annoyed that I said craft stash in Dollar General at least 45 times in this video. But anyways, if you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, I would love if you consider sticking around and subscribing, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!